friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are continuing on decorating my home for summer. We are here in my dining room today. I'm going to be taking you along with me and just showing you the process of how I want to simply spruce this space up for summer. So I'm going to be using a lot of wicker pieces, a lot of brown tones and different neutrals, and also some greenery as well. We're going to be focusing on our hutch area. You guys know each season I like to just very simply switch things around. I will either put new pieces in and take old ones out, or I will just simply do some rearranging with the same items but just give it a new look. So we're going to be doing that today. I also have a very basic centerpiece that I'm going to be using for my dining room table, and just a couple little corners that I like to just simply switch out for each season. And anything that I can link I will have linked down below, but most of these items are thrifted. So I like to do a lot of affordable decorating and thrifting here on my channel. If you guys are new here, you'll get tons of content with those specific topics. So I love to go thrifting and antiquing and incorporate old pieces into my home and just give it a new life, and just like to use some pieces to kind of rearrange and spruce up a space that is different than your basic retail items. So don't get me wrong, I do love a good retail find when it comes to home goods, Hobby Lobby, all of things like that. But my main goal is to bring in really just nice, unique pieces that are thrifted and antique. So I have lots of those in today's video. I have a thrifted tree over here that I'm going to be showing you guys. I also have a thrifted basket that it is in. Most of the things on my hutch are thrifted. My hutch is thrifted. I have a chair in here that's thrifted. Tons of things that are secondhand that I just absolutely love. To me, it just adds so much character to a space, and it can truly just show a uniqueness of your home and just add some different elements in to spruce it up and make it yours. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But without further ado, I'm going to show you guys a few things that I'm going to be using, kind of give you a closer up look. Then we're going to be using those pieces to style here in the dining room. Okay, so I have a few pieces here on my dining room table that I'm wanting to show you really quick before we get started. So this piece is one of my favorites. So this is a huge bottle here, but it is wrapped in this wicker basket. It does have a handle. The handle is broken, but I love that because it just looks really worn in and old. So this is actually a piece that was my mom's. She found this at some type of like antique market several years ago, but I mentioned this in my last video, and I've mentioned it before, that anytime she isn't using something in her home or I'm not using something in my home when it comes to home decor, we will just kind of go through each other's things and use each other's items in our home throughout those seasons. So anyway, this is something that I'm borrowing from her this season. I actually used it in the springtime too, and I love it. So it is so pretty, definitely a unique piece. And then I just have some greenery in here. So I found some stems from Amazon. I actually shared them in my summer decorate with me in my living room, and I took one of those and I put it in here. I just love the very lifelike and kind of wispy look that it has, and I'm planning to put this on my dining room table. Super excited. I think it's such a beautiful piece and definitely unique. And then another bottle that I have that is very similar to that one is the smaller one. So this one is more of a rounded bottle, as you can see, but it does have a little bit of a skinny neck there. And this is a lighter woven basket look. So it complements really well with each other. I think that the contrast is super nice. So the lighter one kind of brings out the lighter pieces of wicker throughout this. And I love these styled together. I love that look of a dining room table that is super simple. I do love a full tablescape, but that's not something that is very practical here in my home. I do have 3 little boys. We eat at our dining room table constantly, and it's just not very functional for us. We don't want to constantly move things around and whatnot. So anyway, I just like to do a simple centerpiece, and I love how that looks. And then as far as a couple more pieces, these 2 items here, these are candlestick holders, and I love them so much. My friend of mine went to like an old barn sale. I'm pretty sure that's where these came from. And she did not want them, and I am obsessed with them. I think they are gorgeous. They kind of look like a flower, and they are the same height. So they're not varying heights like most candlesticks are, but I just think that these are beautiful. I love all of the detail on there. Definitely more of an antique piece, and I love these on my dining room table. I didn't want to do like a true white or ivory candle in them, so I ended up finding these kind of taupey gray looking candlesticks from Hobby Lobby, and these are super affordable. Whenever these are half off, they're like 75 cents or something, so super inexpensive, but I just love how that looks. And I did end up buying 2 different heights of the candles, just to kind of give it that variation. So I found these. I love them. I'm pretty sure These are basically the only new things that I'm going to be using in this room are these candlesticks, and I actually do have one vase real quick that I'm going to show you, but everything else are items that I've had for quite some time now. And like I mentioned, anything that I can link down below, I will have linked down below for you. Most of the things that are pieces that I can link are from Hobby Lobby, so they're pretty easy to get your hands on. But another new piece that I'm going to be using is this vase. So I love it because it has the 4 handles, and I just think it is so pretty. So I love this piece. It's definitely unique. It's a very large piece, which you guys know I love the less is more, but I like using the statements. So this is a statement that I think I'm just going to keep the vase as is. I don't plan to put any greenery in here. Our dining room isn't very big, so I don't want a ton of greenery everywhere. I just want some on my dining room table, and then I will be having this huge plant right here next to the hutch just to kind of add a little bit more life to this space. So I have that. So I'm going to show you what that looks like really quick, just so you guys can get a better feel for what I'm talking about. But I think it was last year or the year before, I used to work at a local thrift store here in my area, and a couple of years ago when I was working there, I found this tree. I have no clue what kind of tree it is, but I love to switch out little plants next to my hutch here just to, I don't know, change it up each season. There's certain areas in my home that I love to just simply switch out a greenery piece for something else that is another piece of greenery or floral stem for that specific season. So anyway, for summer and spring, I like this little green tree. So it is kind of like a tropical-ish looking tree. I don't know, that's not something I'm typically drawn towards, but I really like this one, and I thought it was the perfect size next to the hutch. So if you know what this is, please let me know down in the comments. But I have this. When I thrifted it, I think it was like $15. Like, it was pretty inexpensive compared to a size of tree that you would find at like Home Goods or something like that, just any type of big box retail store. And then I have it in this large wicker basket. So this came from a local antique store a couple of months ago, and I think the basket was around $20-ish, 20, 25, something like that. But it is a huge basket, as you guys can tell, and I love this tree that is in there. So just a really nice touch, something that is a little unique, a little bit different, and I just really like it. So I want to place this next to the hutch, like I said, and just kind of add a little more vibrant color. Our hutch is black, as you guys can see, and I need to change the light bulb out on the inside. The light bulb actually went out, so it is fairly dark in here, but I don't want to paint the inside or anything, simply because I like the wood grain look that it has on the back. So anyway, here in a second, I'll give you guys a closer look and show you how I plan to style the inside of the hutch. But just wanted to show you these few things before we got started. So I think that's all that I have, but let's go ahead and get to decorating the rest of this room. Alright you guys, starting off in the hutch, like I had mentioned before, I'm just going to be taking a variety of items. These are all neutral pieces. Most of them are thrifted. There are some that I have found on clearance at different places, but for the most part, everything is thrifted. Like I said, definitely affordable pieces in this hutch. So I just like to layer in a lot of neutral pieces. Sometimes I will take different pieces and completely switch them out, and other times I will just completely rearrange and just make it look a little bit different just by refreshing and placing the things in different areas in the hutch. So I have a little bit of brass items, I have some ivories, I'll be using some books, I also have wooden elements, different vases, just things like that that are a little bit different. They have some character, they have some uniqueness to them, and that's something that kind of pops whenever you look at the hutch. I like things to kind of jump out at you, that way you can see the different variations and whatnot. I really love how this plant looks on the side of the hutch. I just think it is something a little bit different, kind of unique, especially since it is a thrifted plant, and I've personally never seen one like that before, so I really like that. And it's just something that kind of adds a little more color to this space as well. As you can see, clearly everything over here is neutral aside from the greenery that is, you know, a little bit more vibrant. So that is my goal. I like to keep it very simple and basic, but also just have a lot of fun with it and kind of rearrange some things. Next up, we're going to be styling our dining room table. So as you can see here, I already have the table runners laid out. I really enjoy that layered look, so I simply just have a plain jute runner layered on top of a jute and ivory striped oversized runner. That came from Hearth and Hand last year. I haven't been able to find that exact one, but it's definitely one of my favorites. I keep it out all year long. And then I'm simply just taking those wicker bottles and layering them in along with the candlesticks and the candle holders. These are very neutral pieces, as you can tell, but I think that they kind of just speak for themselves with the wicker, and a lot of the texture that they have. It definitely adds a lot of character and warmth to this room, which I really love. Next up, we just have this little corner nook. I just have a thrifted table there, and I have a magazine sitting there, and then I'm going to be taking that ivory vase that I found at Home Goods, layering in a faux plant that I've had for several years now, and I also have some brass candlesticks as well. Alright, you guys, that is all for the decorating portion of today's video. I hope you enjoyed spending a little bit of time with me sprucing up our dining room for summer. Like I said before, I just wanted to keep it very light and fresh, simple, with a lot of wicker pieces and some greenery, and just kind of tie it all in together with the rest of my home. We do have kind of an open concept, as you guys could see in some of the clips. You could see our living room from our dining room. You can also see our kitchen as well. So I like to make it all flow very well and just be very cohesive, and that is always the goal here in my home. Just the less is more, but make it all make sense. So before we go, I do want to mention one more thing to you guys. I almost forgot, but I wanted to share a new oil blend and a beeswax candle that I have in collaboration with the Well and the Rooted over on Instagram. So you guys have probably heard of her before, but she has really nice diffuser blends for your diffusers for essential oils, and then she also came out with a beeswax candle as well. So for the month of June, we are collaborating on a Simplistic Home signature blend, and this is something that her and I collaborated with together. I told her the scents that I really love, especially for the summer months. So I have a 10 ounce, I believe this one is, and it just says The Simplistic Home on it. She did even add the little bit of blue touches. You guys know I love adding blues here in my home. So we have a 10 mil, and then we also have a 30 mil, and this smells so, so good. So it is the same label there, but it's so pretty. She keeps everything very aesthetically pleasing, which I love. And the scent of this is peppermint, warm vanilla, lemon, and rosemary. So I love a very fresh and light earthy scent throughout my home. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but I promise you this smells so good. We had some friends over the other day, and one of their kids walked in actually and just said, oh my gosh, it smells so good in here. So it was super fun to just know that they really enjoyed it. But anyway, this smells super good, very light and fresh. If you are interested in purchasing a signature Simplistic Home blend, be sure to check her out over on Instagram. I will have her Instagram handle linked down below, so that way you guys can go check it out. She has lots of other signature blends. You can find all types of things over there. She does seasonal blends too, but like I said, for the month of June we have a Simplistic Home signature blend. Smells super good, mint, rosemary, lemon, and vanilla. So love this one, and I think you guys will too. So be sure to check it out. Go ahead and check out her Instagram. You can order over there. I believe she has a website and everything that you can check out. So anyway, I also have a code. I almost forgot to mention. I also have a code that is Nicole10 for 10% off whenever you purchase this specific Simplistic Home blend. So it smells super fresh, and I think you guys will love it. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today. That is all that I have for today's video. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy all things simple living, affordable decorating, and thrifting. And stay tuned for more decorating. We also have our kitchen coming up. I have a summer home tour. I'm going to be doing some fun decorating throughout this season and just leading up to fall and in these warmer months whenever there's just not a whole lot going on, but I like to just simply refresh spaces throughout my home. So you don't want to miss out on lots more content coming from me. But thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.